Welcome to the Deck Dive, everyone. Today we're diving into some really fascinating research on pancreatic cancer, and yeah, get ready to be surprised because it's not the typical, kind of doom and gloom cancer story.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Pancreatic ductal adenocarcinoma, PDC. It's got a really tough track record.
Oh, for sure. But this research offers like a real glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
And it comes in the form of personalized RNA vaccines.
It does. You do.
So we're not going to sugarcoat it, right? PDAC has a really high fatality rate. It's 88%.
Yeah.
And that makes it the third leading cause of cancer death in the US, and
Wow.
it's actually predicted to become even deadlier globally by 2025.
Yeah, the projections are pretty stark.
Yeah. So right now surgery is really the only potential cure.
Right.
But unfortunately, even after surgery, almost 90% of patients experience a recurrence.
It's a very aggressive disease.
It is. And chemotherapy, it can buy some time, but it's not a cure. So we desperately need a game changer, right?
We do.
And that's where this research, which was published in Nature back in May 2023, that's where this comes in.
Yeah.
So this study, it details a phase A clinical trial that tested a personalized mRNA vaccine called autogene cevumeran.
Yeah, it's pretty groundbreaking stuff.
Yeah. And it's groundbreaking because it targets something called neoantigens.
Right.
Now, neoantigens, imagine them like as tiny red flags,
Yeah.
unique to each patient's tumor.
Yeah, it's a good way to think about it.
Yeah, and they're signaling to the immune system like, hey, attack here.
Exactly. It's like giving the immune system a personalized hit list,
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah. So for years, PDA, it was thought to have a low mutation rate.
Okay.
Meaning it wouldn't have a lot of those crucial neoantigens.
Right.
And that made it a very, very tough target for immunotherapy.
Which works by basically revving up the immune system to fight the cancer.
Exactly.
So, but then scientists discovered that PD actually harbors more neoantigens.
Yeah. Than previously thought.
Yeah. And what's even more interesting is that studies of long-term survivors, they found that these survivors, they had strong immune responses.
Right.
Targeting those specific neoantigens.
Yeah.
Right. So that's pretty wild.
It is. And that discovery really kind of opened the door for personalized vaccines.
Okay.
That could teach the immune system to recognize and then destroy a tumor based on its unique fingerprint.
Okay.
And that's where this autogene cevumeran comes in.
All right, so walk me through this vaccine. How exactly does it work?
Well, you see, autogene cevumeran is an mRNA vaccine.
Okay.
Meaning it delivers instructions to the body's cells to produce those unique neoantigens.
Yeah.
It's kind of like think of it like sending blueprints, to a 3D printer.
Yeah.
Except in this case, the printer is your own immune system.
Okay.
And the product is an army of cancer fighting cells.
Oh, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, it is. So this vaccine, it can be produced quickly after surgery.
Yeah, relatively quickly.
Okay, and it can target up to 20 neoantigens.
Yeah, per patient, up to 20.
Wow, that's amazing. This all seems like very cutting edge compared to like traditional vaccines.
Oh, absolutely. You're right. It is mRNA vaccine technology. It's incredibly fast and flexible.
Right.
Which is really important with a disease like PDA that moves so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get into the trial itself.
Okay, yeah.
This was a phase-on trial, which I understand means it was pretty small.
Right.
And it was focused on safety and feasibility.
Right. Yes, correct. Yeah. This phase of the research is all about, first and foremost, establishing the safety.
Right.
And then making sure that the vaccine can actually be manufactured.
Okay.
And delivered in a clinically practical way.
Yeah.
And they also wanted to see if it could actually spark an immune response.
Okay, so they're not just looking to see if it's safe, they also want to see if it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And they took a multi-pronged approach to treatment, right?
They did.
They didn't just use the vaccine.
Right.
So they combined the autogene cevumeran vaccine with atezolizumab.
Yeah, atezolizumab.
Which is an immunotherapy drug that basically it removes the brakes on the immune system.
Yeah, you can think of it as unleashing the immune system's full potential.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And they also included modified mFOLFIRINOX.
Right.
which is a standard chemotherapy regimen.
It is, yeah,
Uh-huh.
standard chemo regimen.
As part of the treatment plan. So they weren't just relying on the vaccine alone.
No, no. It was definitely a combined effort,
Yeah.
aiming to attack the cancer from multiple angles.
Okay.
And hopefully create, this sort of synergistic effect where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Oh, I see. Okay. So how did they know if the vaccine was working? What were they looking for?
Well, so they measured the vaccine's impact in a couple of key ways.
Okay.
First, they used a test to detect the presence of T cells
Okay.
that were specifically targeting the vaccine's neoantigens.
Right.
And this confirmed that the vaccine was actually training the immune system
Okay.
to recognize the tumor.
So they were basically looking for evidence that the immune system had been like primed,
Primed, exactly.
yeah, to fight the cancer.
Exactly.
Right.
And they also used this new technique they developed called clone track.
Clone track.
Yeah.
Interesting name.
Yeah, which allowed them to track the expansion of specific T cell populations. So they wanted to see if the vaccine actually led to an increase in the number of T cells that were capable of attacking the cancer.
Okay. So did they find that? Was there an increase in those cancer fighting cells?
Yeah, well, here's where it gets really exciting.
Okay.
8 out of the 16 patients, so that's 50%,
Wow.
showed a clear T cell response to the vaccine.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Tell me more about these T cells. What kind were they, and how long did they stick around?
Yeah, well, so most of the expanded T cells, they were CD8 plus T cells,
Okay.
which, those are really the heavy hitters of the immune system,
Okay.
the ones that directly destroy the cancer cells.
So not just any T cells, they were the like the elite forces.
Yeah, the special forces of the immune system.
Yeah. Okay. So that's encouraging. And did these T cells, did they stick around for a while?
They did. They did. That was another critical finding. They were durable.
Okay.
They persisted even after the patients received chemotherapy,
Wow.
which is important because chemotherapy can sometimes suppress the immune system.
Yeah. I've heard that. Okay. So we've got safety. We've got feasibility. We've got a robust immune response.
Right.
But the million-dollar question is, did any of this translate into actual like clinical benefits for the patients?
Right. Yeah. I mean, to answer that, we need to look at what's called recurrence-free survival,
Okay.
which is, it's a crucial measure of success in cancer treatment,
Okay.
especially for an aggressive disease like PDA.
Meaning it tells us how long patients lived without their cancer coming back.
Exactly.
Okay. Got it.
And this study found that patients who responded to the vaccine,
Yeah.
they had a significantly longer recurrence-free survival.
Wow. Okay, that's really promising.
It is.
But it makes me wonder, why did the vaccine work better for some patients than others? Was there anything, that set the responders apart?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the researchers explored several factors,
Okay.
including something called tumor clonality.
Tumor what? Break that down for me.
Yeah, sure. So essentially, it refers to how diverse or homogeneous
Okay.
the tumor cells are. So think of it like this. A clonal tumor, it's like an army of identical soldiers, right?
Okay.
All wearing the same uniform.
Okay.
But a heterogeneous tumor, that's like an army with soldiers in all different uniforms, right?
Okay.
Making it a lot harder to target.
Ah, I see. So a more like homogeneous tumor, it's easier for the immune system to recognize and attack.
Exactly.
Mm.
And the study found that more clonal tumors, the ones with less diversity,
Okay.
they seem to respond better to the vaccine.
Okay. That makes sense. If the immune system is trained to recognize a specific target, it's going to be, more effective if that target is consistent throughout the tumor.
Right.
But it's not just about, tumor clonality.
Right.
Right. You mentioned something about neoantigen quality.
I did, yeah.
Here-
Yeah. And not all neoantigens are created equal.
Right.
Some are just better at grabbing the immune system's attention.
Right.
Like, like a giant neon sign
Yeah.
saying attack here.
So it's not just about, having neoantigens, it's about having the right one.
Precisely.
Mm.
Precisely. And the researchers found that the quality of the vaccine's neoantigens
Yeah.
it correlated with the strength of the immune response.
Yeah.
So higher quality neoantigens, the ones that are more visible, we'll say, to the immune system,
Okay.
they were more likely to trigger, a strong attack.
Got it. So it's like giving the immune system a high-powered flashlight. Yeah.
Instead of like a dim
Yeah,
one.
exactly, exactly. Now you might be wondering, well, if some patients respond better than others, how do we figure out who's most likely to benefit?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Right. And well, the researchers, they documented this fascinating case study
Okay.
that might hold some clues.
Okay, I'm all ears.
All right. So this involves patient 29.
Patient 29.
Patient 29 who initially responded extremely well to the vaccine,
Okay.
but then developed this suspicious lesion in their liver.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, a possible sign of metastasis,
Not good.
which is never
Yeah.
never good news. Yeah.
Right.
But here's the twist. A biopsy of that lesion,
Okay.
it revealed a dense cluster of immune cells,
Wow.
including the very T cells that had been trained by the vaccine.
Oh, wow.
And get this, in subsequent scans,
Yeah.
the lesion, it had vanished.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is. So are you saying that the vaccine might be able to eliminate these tiny metastases
Yeah.
before they even become detectable?
That's certainly a possibility.
Okay.
And it's what makes this research so groundbreaking. We may be, on the verge of this whole new era in cancer treatment,
Okay.
where we can, not only treat existing tumors, but also prevent them from coming back.
That's really amazing. This is all so fascinating.
It is.
And I'm already eager to hear more about the broader implications of this research.
Yeah.
But before we dive into that, maybe we can just take a step back and recap what we've learned so far.
Sure.
Like what are the key takeaways for our listeners?
All right. Well, the main points to remember, are that personalized mRNA vaccines for PDA, they appear to be safe.
Okay.
They appear to be feasible.
Okay.
And most importantly, they show real promise.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it is.
And they work by training the immune system to recognize and attack the cancer's unique neoantigens.
Right.
Which could potentially lead to longer recurrence-free survival.
Yeah, exactly.
But of course, this was a small early stage trial.
It was, yeah. Early stage.
So more research is definitely needed to confirm these findings.
Right.
And really explore, the long-term benefits and risks.
Absolutely. You're right. We can't get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
But the initial results, they're certainly encouraging.
They are. And I'm especially intrigued by this idea that we might, be able to predict which patients are most likely to benefit from this type of treatment.
Right.
Potentially sparing some from undergoing a treatment that might not work for them.
Yeah, that's a critical point. And it highlights the potential of personalized medicine, to tailor treatments, not just to the type of cancer, but to each individual's unique tumor.
So it's like moving away from this, one size fits all approach to cancer treatment.
Right.
And towards this, custom tailored approach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a game changer.
It really is.
Yeah.
And this is just the beginning. There's so much more to explore with personalized mRNA vaccines.
Yeah.
And we're really just starting to scratch the surface of what they can achieve.
Well, I, for one, am excited to see where this research leads us.
Yeah, me too.
But before we delve deeper,
Okay.
let's take a quick break. When we
Okay.
come back, we'll explore the broader implications of this research.
Okay.
And what it could mean for the future of cancer treatment.
Sounds good.
So stay tuned.
So, what's truly remarkable about this research is that it really challenges this long-held belief about immunotherapy.
Oh, you mean the idea that cancers with low mutation rates like PDAC just weren't good candidates
Exactly.
for this type of treatment because they weren't thought to have enough neoantigens.
Exactly. But this trial, suggests that we may have underestimated the power of the immune system, even in these so-called cold tumors.
So what does that mean for other types of cancer? Could this open up new avenues for treating tumors that haven't responded well to traditional immunotherapy?
It certainly has the the potential to do so. There's a whole world of, non-inflamed tumors out there.
Yeah.
The ones that don't naturally attract immune cells. Think of them as like fortresses, with the immune system stuck outside.
Okay. And personalized vaccines, those could be like the key to breaching those defenses.
Exactly. This trial suggests that even in these challenging cold tumors, a personalized mRNA vaccine can spark this really powerful immune response.
Now, one thing that really intrigued me was this discussion of neoantigen quality.
Yeah.
You mentioned that some neoantigens are more like visible to the immune system than others. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure.
What makes a neoantigen high quality?
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? Not all neoantigens are created equal.
Yeah.
Some are just better at triggering an immune response. And this quality, it's determined by several factors, including how different the neoantigen is from the body's normal proteins.
Okay.
And how well it binds to immune cells.
So it's almost like some neoantigens, they're waving these like giant red flags while others are like hiding in plain sight.
That's a great analogy.
Thanks.
Yeah, and the researchers found this correlation, between the quality of the vaccine neoantigens and the strength of the immune response.
Yeah.
So the higher the quality, the better the response.
Okay. Which makes sense, right? You want your immune system to zero in on the most obvious targets.
Exactly. And this opens up, a really exciting avenue for future research.
Yeah.
Could we design vaccines that specifically target, only the highest quality neoantigens?
No, that would be a game changer. It's like giving the immune system like laser guided missiles,
Right,
instead of like a shotgun.
exactly. And this level of precision, this is what makes personalized medicine, so revolutionary. We're talking about potentially tailoring treatments not just to the type of cancer, but to each individual's unique tumor.
Yeah. This trial also highlighted the importance of tumor clonality, right?
It did, yeah.
More homogeneous tumors, the ones with less diversity,
Right.
They seem to respond better to the vaccine.
That's right. Remember the analogy of the army with the identical soldiers?
Yeah.
If all the tumor cells look the same, it's much easier for the immune system to recognize them and attack them.
Okay. So this finding could have like significant implications for patient selection, right?
It could, yeah.
We might be able to use tumor clonality as a biomarker,
Right.
to identify, those who are most likely to benefit from this type of treatment.
Exactly. We could potentially spare some patients from going through a treatment that might not work for them.
Right.
Which is a huge win.
Yeah, absolutely. It all comes down to maximizing the effectiveness of these therapies,
Right.
while minimizing potential side effects, right?
Precisely. Now it's crucial to acknowledge, right, that this was a small early stage trial.
Right.
We need larger, randomized trials to confirm these findings.
Okay.
And fully understand the long-term benefits.
Right.
And risks.
But even with those caveats,
Yeah.
this research, it feels like a major leap forward in cancer treatment.
It does.
It's like we've cracked open a door
Yeah.
to this whole new world of possibilities.
I completely agree. And the speed at which this field is moving, it's truly remarkable. Just think about how quickly mRNA vaccines were developed for COVID-19.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And now imagine applying that same technology to personalized cancer treatment.
Yeah, it's hard not to get excited about the potential. We're witnessing like a revolution in medicine.
We are, and the implications for patients are profound. We might finally have a weapon that can truly target the Achilles heel of cancer.
Yeah.
It's genetic makeup.
Yeah, this all leads us to another interesting aspect of the study. Okay. The fact that they chose to administer the vaccine in what's called the adjuvant setting.
Right. You're referring to the fact that the vaccine was given after surgery.
Yeah.
When the patient was technically cancer-free.
Exactly. So why that approach? Wouldn't it be more effective to use these vaccines in patients with advanced cancer, like when they need it most?
Yeah, that's a logical question, but it's not quite that straightforward.
Okay.
You see, vaccines, they tend to be most effective when the immune system is still relatively strong and healthy.
So it's like giving the immune system a head start
Yeah.
before the cancer has a chance to gain a foothold again.
That's a great way to put it.
Thanks.
Yeah. And in the case of PDS, where the risk of recurrence is so high, this adjuvant approach, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay. But that doesn't mean that we should like give up on using personalized vaccines for advanced cancer, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. There are ongoing trials exploring that very possibility.
Okay.
It just might require, a different approach. Perhaps combining the vaccines with other therapies to boost the immune system.
So it's all about finding like the right combination of tools for
Yeah.
each specific situation.
Precisely. Precisely. And as we gather more data from these trials, we'll have a clearer picture, of the best ways to utilize these powerful new weapons.
One thing that really, really impressed me was the speed at which they were able to manufacture and administer these personalized vaccines. It was 9 weeks
Yeah, 9 weeks.
from surgery to the first dose. That's incredible.
It is impressive, isn't it? And it speaks to the incredible potential of mRNA technology.
Yeah.
Remember, this trial took place before, the COVID-19 pandemic,
Right.
which really accelerated the development and manufacturing of mRNA vaccines.
So we can only imagine how much faster the process could be now.
Exactly. We might be able to, shave weeks,
Yeah.
or even months
Wow.
off the current timeline.
Which again, with a disease like PDA, could make all the difference.
Absolutely. Every day counts. And these personalized vaccines with their, rapid turnaround time, they offer a real glimmer of hope for patients facing this, daunting diagnosis.
Now there was one detail in the study that I found curious.
Okay.
They mentioned that some patients had undergone splenectomies.
You're right. That is an interesting point.
Yeah.
The spleen, it plays a really crucial role in filtering the blood
Mm-hmm.
and initiating, immune responses. It's like a training ground for immune cells.
Okay. So could the absence of a spleen
Yeah.
potentially impact like the effectiveness
Yeah.
of these vaccines?
That's a great question, and it's one that deserves, further investigation. The researchers, they noted that the patients who didn't respond to the vaccine, they were slightly more likely to have had splenectomies.
Okay.
Okay.
But the sample size was too small to draw any like definitive conclusions.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on, as research in this area progresses. Speaking of moving forward, what are your thoughts on the next steps for this field?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, larger randomized trials, those are crucial.
They
We need to confirm these initial findings and really understand the long-term impact
right.
of personalized mRNA vaccines. And what about the broader implications? Do you think this research could like pave the way for personalized vaccines for other types of cancer?
I absolutely do. If we can trigger, a potent immune response in a historically cold tumor,
Right.
like PDAC,
Yeah.
imagine the possibilities for other cancers.
Yeah. It's an incredibly exciting prospect. We might be like on the verge of this paradigm shift in cancer treatment,
Yeah.
moving away from one size fits all approaches to truly individualized therapies.
Absolutely. And the beauty of these personalized vaccines is that, they can be tailored not just to the type of cancer, but to each patient's unique tumor.
Exactly. It's like having a custom-made weapon,
Yeah.
designed to target the specific vulnerabilities of your enemy.
Right.
And the potential benefits, they extend, beyond just killing cancer cells, right? We saw in patient 29's case that these vaccines might even be able to eliminate these tiny metastases days
Yeah.
before they even become detectable.
Right.
Imagine the impact that could have on preventing cancer recurrence. It's a truly remarkable possibility.
It is. It really is.
And we haven't even touched on the potential for combining these vaccines with other therapies like checkpoint inhibitors or even CAR T-cell therapy.
The possibilities are truly endless. And as we learn more about the intricacies of the immune system, we'll be able to design even more sophisticated and effective combination therapies.
It's an incredibly exciting time to be following this field. It feels like we're on the cusp of a major breakthrough in cancer treatment.
I couldn't agree more. It's an exciting time to be in the field of cancer research.
Yeah.
And it all stems from this, fundamental shift in our understanding of cancer. We're no longer just targeting the tumor itself, but harnessing the power of the body's own defenses to fight the disease.
It's a paradigm shift that has the potential to revolutionize medicine as we know it, but we have to acknowledge that with any groundbreaking medical technology, especially one with such transformative power, there are ethical considerations to address.
You're absolutely right. We can't overlook the ethical aspects.
For example, these vaccines, they're incredibly complex, right?
They are.
And they require, sophisticated manufacturing processes.
I do.
And a deep understanding of each patient's, unique tumor. So will they be accessible to all patients regardless of their, socioeconomic status or geographic location?
That's a crucial question.
Yep.
We need to ensure that these groundbreaking treatments, that they don't exacerbate existing health disparities.
Right.
Equitable access should be a top priority.
And then there's the cost, right?
Yeah.
Personalized therapies are notoriously expensive.
They are.
And these mRNA vaccines, they're no exception.
Right.
So will insurance companies cover these treatments? Will patients be burdened with exorbitant out-of-pocket expenses?
These are questions that policymakers, healthcare providers and researchers need to grapple with.
Yeah.
We can't allow costs to become a barrier to potentially life-saving treatments.
And beyond the financial aspects, there are also ethical considerations around data privacy, right?
Absolutely.
These personalized vaccines, they rely on analyzing a patient's unique genetic information. So how do we ensure that data is protected and used responsibly?
Absolutely. Transparency and patient consent.
Yeah.
Those are paramount. We need robust safeguards in place to prevent the misuse of sensitive genetic data.
It's like walking a tightrope. We want to unleash the incredible potential of personalized medicine, right?
Right.
But we also want to safeguard patient rights and ethical principles.
It's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
But one that we must strive to achieve.
Right.
The future of healthcare depends on it.
Well said. Well said. Now shifting gears a bit, I'm curious about your thoughts on the future of this research. What are the most exciting avenues to explore?
Oh, there's so many. One area I'm particularly interested in is the development of even more potent mRNA vaccines.
So not just targeting the right neoantigens, but making those neoantigens even more visible to the immune system.
Exactly. We could potentially engineer neoantigens that bind, more strongly to immune cells or trigger a more robust immune response.
Okay. And what about the delivery system? Right now, these vaccines are delivered intravenously, right?
They are, yeah.
So could there be other more targeted ways to administer them?
Absolutely. Researchers are exploring the use of nanoparticles and other delivery systems that could potentially target the vaccine directly to the tumor microenvironment.
That would be incredible. It's like delivering a knockout punch.
Yeah.
Right to the heart of the cancer.
Exactly. And another exciting avenue is the potential for combining personalized mRNA vaccines with other therapies.
We briefly touched on this earlier, but I'd love to hear more. What kind of combinations are you envisioning?
Well, imagine combining these vaccines with checkpoint inhibitors, which essentially release the brakes on the immune system, or combining them with shy T cell therapy, which uses engineered immune cells to attack cancer.
So it's like creating a supercharged immune response.
Exactly. The possibilities are truly mind-boggling. And as we learn more about the intricacies of the immune system, we'll be able to design even more sophisticated and effective combination therapies.
It's an incredibly exciting time to be following this field. It feels like we're on the cusp of a major breakthrough in cancer treatment.
I couldn't agree more. And it all stems from this fundamental shift in our understanding of cancer. We're no longer just targeting the tumor itself, but harnessing the power of the body's own defenses to fight the disease.
It's a paradigm shift that has the potential to revolutionize medicine as we know it.
And the impact on patients' lives could be profound. Imagine a future where cancer is no longer a death sentence, but a manageable chronic condition.
That's a future worth fighting for. And thanks to the tireless efforts of researchers and clinicians around the world, that future seems closer than ever.
Indeed. It's an honor to be a part of this incredible journey of discovery.
Well, on that inspiring note, I think we'll wrap up this deep dive. As always, I want to thank our listeners for joining us on this fascinating exploration of personalized mRNA vaccines for pancreatic cancer. We covered a lot of ground today, from the basics of neoantigens to the ethical considerations surrounding personalized medicine.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
Right.
This is a rapidly evolving field, and we're eager to see what the future holds.
So stay curious, keep learning, and we'll be back soon with another deep dive. Until then, take care. Okay, so we've talked about the potential of these personalized mRNA vaccines to really revolutionize cancer treatment. But I think it's also important to acknowledge that there are still challenges ahead.
Oh, absolutely. We're still in the early stages of development.
Right.
And there's a lot we don't know yet.
For example, one thing that keeps coming to mind is just the sheer complexity of these vaccines. They require, sophisticated manufacturing processes and a deep understanding of each patient's unique tumor.
Yeah, you're right. It's not a simple process, and that raises the question of scalability. How do we make these treatments widely available and accessible to all patients?
Exactly. It's great to have these cutting edge therapies, but they're not going to make much of a difference if only a select few can benefit from them.
I agree, and that's why it's so important to focus on developing manufacturing processes that are efficient, cost effective, and scalable. We need to find ways to make these treatments accessible to everyone who needs them.
It's like having a cure for a disease,
right?
But only being able to give it to like a handful of people.
Yeah,
that's not a real solution.
Precisely. We need to think about the bigger picture, and ensure that these advancements, that they benefit everyone, not just a privileged few.
And speaking of accessibility, let's talk about the elephant in the room: cost.
Right.
Personalized therapies are notoriously expensive.
They are, yeah.
And these mRNA vaccines, they're no exception.
Right.
So we need to work towards making these treatments more affordable.
We do.
And this might involve, exploring different funding models, negotiating with insurance companies, finding ways to reduce, manufacturing costs.
Yeah, it's a complex issue with no easy answers, but I think it's crucial to have these conversations early on, so that we can ensure that these groundbreaking therapies reach, the people who need them most.
I couldn't agree more. We can't let cost become a barrier to life-saving treatments.
Yeah,
okay, so we've got the challenges of manufacturing and cost. What other hurdles do you see on the horizon?
Well, another challenge is the potential for immune-related side effects.
Okay.
While this trial showed that the vaccine was, generally well tolerated.
Right.
Immunotherapy, it can sometimes trigger unwanted immune responses.
So it's like walking a tightrope, you know. You want to stimulate the immune system to attack the cancer, but you don't want it to go into overdrive
Right.
and attack healthy tissue.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why careful monitoring and management of potential side effects,
Yeah.
those are crucial. We need to find the sweet spot where we maximize the benefits of immunotherapy while minimizing the risks.
And that leads us to another important consideration, which is, you know, long-term outcomes. This trial focused on recurrence-free survival, but we need more data to understand the vaccine's impact on overall survival.
That's right. We need to know if these vaccines can actually extend patients' lives, not just, delay the inevitable.
Right, right. So while there's definitely cause for optimism,
Right.
we also need to be, to be realistic about the fact that there's still a lot of work to be done.
Absolutely. This is just the beginning of a long and exciting journey, but I have no doubt that personalized mRNA vaccines,
Yeah.
they will play a major role in the future of cancer treatment.
Well, and with that, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground today, from
Right.
the science behind these vaccines to the challenges that lie ahead. But most importantly, I hope we've left you with a sense of hope and excitement about the future of cancer treatment.
Me too. It's truly an incredible time to be working in this field,
Mm.
and I can't wait to see what breakthroughs, the future holds.
So to all our listeners out there, stay curious, keep learning, and never lose hope. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the world of cutting-edge science and technology. Until then, take care.